Yo, what is up, everybody? I'm Isaac Woodall from Result Report, and here we have 24/7 Sports' Steve Wiltfong for our first interview. Let's go! Let's start with our first question. How did you get a full-time job in sports?
Well, it was a career that I had my eye on going back to high school. And I got my first job at the South Bend Tribune in a part-time fashion, just answering the phone in the sports department back in August of 2000. Kind of worked my way up from there.
How has the NIL changed the recruiting process?
Well, I think it's really changed it a lot, because I think it's a major factor in how a young man makes their college decision oftentimes. Now, it might not be front-end money that they're looking for, but certainly they want to know how the athletes on their team are earning money off their image and name, image, and likeness. So you have some young men that are getting front-end loaded deals from NIL, and then you have some guys that just want to see that your program is doing as much as they can, or they want to see that the players in your program are earning money off their name, image, and likeness. So it's very relevant in recruiting right now, and almost every kid I talk to brings it up in some capacity.
And speaking of the NIL, do you think the transfer portal has changed the way coaches are recruiting?
Well, absolutely. I think that the transfer portal is a place where some programs, if they have a new coaching staff, can completely rebuild their roster quickly. But it's also a place where programs that have had sustained success can go in and find a player that maybe improves a position room that was depleted because, say, they lost some guys early to the NFL draft, they were 3 and done, or some guys that got injured, or maybe they didn't evaluate the room well when they were recruiting, so they have to go into the portal to find a receiver or a running back. But I think overall, the programs that are competing for championships, and I'm talking purely football, I know you cover every sport here, but I think the programs that are competing for championships in the football front, they want to build it grassroots through the prep levels, recruiting high school players, and then if they need to go into the portal to put a Band-Aid on a position room, they'll do that. Georgia just won its second straight national championship, and I think that they did that without taking a kid in the transfer portal last year. But they did have to go into the portal after the season. Wide receiver is an area of need for them, so they went into the portal and tried to find some help there. So that's just an example of how it is. But if you're a new coach and a new staff, you can go into the portal and change your fortunes and maybe steal some wins out of the portal.
Would you say that there is one factor or multiple factors that determine the player's college choice?
Well, multiple factors. I think that when a young man's making his college decision, a lot of things. There's a lot of things that they're looking for. I think when you're talking about the blue chip recruits, the best in the country, a lot of them are looking for a place that's going to develop them, to give them an opportunity to play in the NFL. A lot of these guys envision themselves as being 3 and done and hearing their names called early in the NFL draft. So they want to go to programs that have track records of developing players and hearing their names called early in the NFL draft. I think that a lot of these guys want to play on the biggest stages in college football, and so programs that have a consistent track record of competing for championships is another element in that. I think that relationships with the coaching staff is incredibly important. They want to feel like they've connected with their future position coach, coordinator, head coach, so relationships with coaches is a big factor. And then, like we started the show, NIL. NIL is a relevant talking point for these recruits as well. And then there are kids out there that are looking at education and what a school brings to the table in that regard, regarding graduation rates, academic support, and things of that nature. So, and then for some, proximity to home is important, and for others, proximity to home is not important.
And if someone wants to have a sports job, do you have any advice for them?
Well, I think that first, first I would say you want to make sure you want to work nights and weekends all the time, and then if you're cool with that, then I would say you go to college and you study print journalism or broadcast journalism, and you kind of go from there.
thank you so much for this interview. That will wrap up our Result Report video. See you in the next episode.